Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Right, what a fortnight. What a week. I've had this week off. The plan was to watch a shitload of movies, get this recording done on sort of the Monday and get it all nicely uploaded, ready for Tuesday, uploaded for Saturday. The best laid plans. The weather. I know everybody blames everything on the weather, but bloody hell, the heat has just been, to me, unbearable. Now, during the winter, I constantly moan about feeling cold, sick of feeling bloody cold all the time. Can't wait for the winter, for the summer. Summer comes, and we get a proper heat wave. I mean, it crept up to about 32 or 33, I think. Was it Tuesday? Which basically makes it impossible for me to concentrate on anything. So every single plan that I had for this week went straight out of the window. By the time it started cooling down a little bit by Wednesday and yesterday, the moment had passed, and I thought, you know what, I can't be arsed with this. I've actually got a note right at the top here, may have to go monthly from August. I think that was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. The other thing that's happened this week, and I really did not see this one coming, I got a letter through, actually last week, and it sat on my desk for best part of a week. And Rob says to me, "Are you going to open that letter? It could be important." He said, "No, it won't be important." Opened it up, jury service. I have never done jury service ever in my life. I was terrified at the thought. I think it's mostly because it's not something you can get out of. I have asked everybody about this, and everybody that's done jury service that I've spoken to has basically said, don't think about coming up with excuses or telling them this or telling them that. You will end up doing it, so just suck it up, get on with it. It lasts anywhere between, they reckon, 5 to 10 working days, but could, and I've heard stories of people being on it for 8 weeks plus. And I've said straight off, and I will tell them this, if it goes on more than 2 weeks, you're going to have to seriously consider dropping me from this, because I can't leave my job for more than 2 weeks, and I certainly can't leave it for 8. That's just completely unreasonable. So they've sent me a jury service pack, which is basically a little booklet and some letters basically explaining what is expected of me during this, as I've never ever done this before. There are also quite a few videos on YouTube from first time jury service people who've shared their experience for 10-20 minutes, which I'm going to be watching those. So I want to be properly clued up by the time I get there. I have no idea where this place is. Derby is Rob's hometown. That's the other thing, it's in Derby, it's not in Burton. That made it even worse. But apparently the Crown Court is just around the corner from the bus station. Now, as we're going to see the Human League at the Valiant tonight, I asked him roughly where the courts are, and he said when we come away from the concert, he says, I'll walk you around there. He says it'll only take 10 minutes. So at least I will know where I'm going, roughly what I'm doing and what is expected of me. I've only got one real stumbling block, and that's the X38 bus. I've been advised not to drive through Derby if I'm not familiar with the roads. Basically I'll end up straying into a bus lane or going into a lane and driving off to Nottingham or something stupid. So everybody's pretty much said, do yourself a favour, get the X38, it's straight to Derby, it will drop you at the bus station and you'll be 10 minutes away from the court. You won't be wound up by the time you get there. So my only thing is, I haven't used public transport for decades. I mean, what do you say when you get on nowadays? It's silly things like that that are starting to wind me up. Is it, a return ticket to Derby bus station, and how do you pay for it? Is it all done on cards nowadays? Is it contactless? Do you still pay cash? I don't know. Anybody that uses public transport that can help me with this, drop a note in the comments, because that is the only real stumbling block that I've got. And the other thing that everybody's told me is, don't expect 10 days worth of high drama, because you absolutely will not get it. It's not like it's in the films. It's not like 12 Angry Men or Crown Court or anything like that. it is mostly boring as hell. And there is apparently an awful lot of waiting. So they've all said, take your tablet, take your phone, take a book, a magazine, anything just to keep you occupied, because you could be sitting in the jury room or whatever they call it for hours and hours on end. The days run, I think, from 10 a.m. and up to 4:30, but it could be earlier and it could be later. It's that unpredictable. Now, you know what I'm like. I'm a creature of habit. I like to know what I'm doing from 1 hour to the next. So anything that is out of my comfort zone, and this is way out of my comfort zone, it does not go down well. So for that reason, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to try and put a positive spin on it. One or two people have said, just treat it as a day out. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but just treat it as a day out. Treat it as an experience, something you've never done before, and you'll come away with some knowledge. Maybe do your own video, which I thought was rather good. So I may do my experience in jury service video at the end of it, but I just can't get fired up about it, and I'm trying, and I will get there. It's in August the 11th. Hence, I thought that if I'm going to be doing that, and I don't know what time I'm getting home or whether I'm going to have time to do a video, I may have to skip a month. But I'm hoping it's roughly the same hours of work as can be, and hopefully then I'll be able to do something at the weekend, because they don't do it Saturday and Sunday. But I'll see how I go. I don't want to go monthly. I really don't. I think I've got it just about right with this fortnightly thing, but we'll see how we go. But any help you can give me regarding jury service or buses or anything like that, drop in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Or do your own little video for me, whatever you want to do. So, but this week has been so unproductive. The thing is, when I'm at work, I'm perfectly well organised. Everything runs pretty much like clockwork. When I'm off work, I become lazy, disorganised. I can't be arsed with anything, and this weather has definitely not helped. I've been saying to everybody over the last couple of weeks, God, you picked the right week to have off, haven't you? Because the sun's blazing away and this, that and the other. When you finally get it and you suddenly realise, you know what, I can't be asked to do anything. I can't even be asked to watch a film. I think I've watched 2 during the week, and that's pretty much it. So, as I say, the best laid plans of mice and men and me. So, anyway, that's me moan done for the moment. Let's get on to these comments, because I really want to bring this in at under an hour if I can, because if it's still going to be hot over the next couple of weeks or so, you're not going to want to be sitting in front of this for like 90 minutes or 2 hours. So we'll get this rattled through as quickly as possible. And all those of you that have not commented on the last one, do not worry, please. I know exactly what it's like. I was supposed to be catching up with everybody else's videos this week, and as you know, with the way things are, it's just not happened. So I totally get it. Don't worry about that, I promise you. First thing is Dave Lowe. Morning, Dave. Those posters that you are doing are absolutely amazing. He's been messing about with AI. I think it's AI chat or something like that, chat GPT. And he's been creating these movie posters, which are absolutely superb. One of them, the tagline, coming soon, if you dare. Something's crawling, something's watching, something's waiting. Web-like is a spine-chilling descent into terror. That's the name of the movie I'm in, apparently. Starring the brave, or maybe just very unlucky, Tony Harris as a man who stumbles into a nightmare he can't escape. An abandoned house, a web of secrets and shadows with too many legs. Some webs you never escape. It's absolutely brilliant. Guy, you said fucking genius. Nice one, Dave. Jason P, just noticed my name check. I was too busy laughing at the artwork. Keep them coming, Dave. Rob Gear, perfection. Callie, you know what? I'd actually watch that. I believe you would watch it as well. They're absolutely amazing. So it looks as if I'm embarking on a career in the movies, because there are more of these to come, apparently. So when he gets a minute. But Dave, honestly, absolutely brilliant. Well impressed. The group love them. They are just reveling in them. So keep them coming. Right, on to some comments. David, morning, Dave. Always start with Dave. Have you checked out Rewind TV? If you like your retro 1970s, 1980s classic shows, that is a great channel. I haven't, for the simple reason, I believe it's on Sky. Now, I don't bother with Sky. I've got Virgin TV. If it turned up on Virgin TV, I would definitely have a look at it, because I've read the roster of some of the programs on there and thought that is for me. The nearest we've got to that, I think there's Great TV. There's one or two other channels as well that are a similar sort of thing. Talking Pictures TV is my main one. Absolutely love that one. But if Rewind TV turns up on Virgin, I will definitely be taking a look at it. What is the most expensive Blu-ray or DVD you have got or purchased? I don't know. Leave that with me. I will show that off, whatever it is, next video. I can't think off the top of my head. My glasses again. Is my head a funny shape? Yeah. There we go. I think. I'm not sure on that one. Leave that with me, Dave. I will come back to you on that one. If you just ask me a book, I pretty much would have said the Scala book, which is behind me, which is an absolutely magnificent piece of work. But DVD or Blu-ray, leave it with me. What are some of your favourite network movies? And what are some of your favourite documentaries you own and recommend? Oh, can you believe I've not had the chance to sort these out? What I'll do is I will transfer them over to the next video, and I will actually sort out my top 10 favourite network movies, and also my top 5 or 10 favourite documentaries on Blu-ray or DVD. I've got quite a few, so that will give me a nice head start on the next video. So leave that with me, Dave. I will come back to you on that. Awesome video and great unboxing videos as always. I've got to get some more of those done. Well, first off, I've got to get some more box set, but I suppose I could do an individual unboxing of one that I've already got that maybe I just showed off very, very quickly. I will have one coming through sometime, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. You remember the Quatermass one, the Quatermass experiment that I showed off or did a video on probably about a fortnight ago? I've got Quatermass 2 coming through, hopefully. That's released on the 14th of July, I believe. And there are people that have had it through already, so I'm hoping that's going to turn up any time. So that will be definitely worthy of an unboxing, because if it's anything like the Quatermass experiment, it's going to be an awesome box set, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Hammer have got in store for the rest of them. I've heard great things about a movie called X the Unknown, which was a kind of an unofficial sequel to the Quatermass experiment, and they reckon it's absolutely brilliant. I think I may have seen it many, many years ago, but I've certainly not seen it recently. And from what I remember, it's definitely worthy of a decent box set release. So thanks for that, Dave. Much appreciated, mate. Always brilliant to hear from you. And I will get back to you on those questions. You've given me a good head start on the next one there, Dave, so thanks for that. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy. Morning, Steve. Consider yourself lucky, Tony. You can just restart. We were talking about the fact that I cock up all the time and leave sort of outtakes in and this, that and the other, and I can get 9 or 10 easy false starts. It's not happened this week, and I've probably cursed it, but whatever happens now, to hell with it. I'm 13 minutes in and I'm not going back to the beginning. Definitely not. I can sometimes record a whole video and pronounce a name totally wrong, so I have to redub the correct pronunciation every time I mention it. Screw that. No way. My nearest is starting again. That's the nearest I do to that. I could never. I haven't got the skill set to be redubbing things and all that sorts of stuff. That's way beyond my wheelhouse, that one. But my heart goes out to you if you can get all the way through a video then suddenly realise you pronounced a name wrong. And let's face it, a lot of the movies that you talk about in the Criterion collection, they're like Japanese movies or Swedish, but they're basically foreign language films. And I've listened to you pronounce those names and it's like, bloody hell, I'm glad I'm not doing that. So my heart goes out to you, Steve. I do get it. I'm just about to participate in my first US sale. Got a US forwarder. Not sure what that is. You'll have to explain. Is that like a middleman type thing? So I can save on import costs. Got a few titles in July I'm after. In the meantime, they are releasing Friedkin's Sorcerer on 4K on Monday the 28th of July in the UK. Now, I've not seen Sorcerer yet. I bought it on Blu-ray a long time ago, and it's one that I definitely want to take a look at, but I would love to watch it on a double bill with The Wages of Fear, which is the original. So what I will do is I will wait for your review of the 4K of Sorcerer to see what the quality is like. And as always, whether it's worth the upgrade from Blu-ray. Is the difference going to be vastly different? So I will leave that with you, and if you can message me when you've watched it and just tell me, do you know what, it is definitely worth the upgrade, I may just go for it, because I get the feeling that it's going to be a really class film, and I do look forward to watching it. So thanks for that, Steve, much appreciated, mate. Brilliant to hear from you as always. Stuart, morning Stu. Yes, an Arrow Blu-ray box set of Doug McClure's 70s monster movies would be fantastic. It'd be bloody awesome. The year is disappearing on us. We've only got, is it 5 months left? So they've got to get the skates on if they're going to do sort of a 50th anniversary of The Land That Time Forgot, basically, which would hopefully include all of the others. And there was the one that I forgot. I did forget. You've got The Land That Time Forgot. You've got The People That Time Forgot, At the Earth's Core, and Warlords of Atlantis. And the one that I forgot about, and I found it accidentally searching for something else, was one called Arabian Adventure, made by the same people, I believe, and I'm sure it had Oliver Tobias in the title role. I don't think Doug McClure was in this one, which is probably why it was separated from the rest. But I definitely wouldn't mind taking a look at it, because you look at the special effects, and I've watched the trailer, and it does look very, very similar in style and quality to the original 4. So maybe that one would be a good one to add to the box set as well. That I've met 5 in total. Been on holiday for 2 weeks and busy at work. Just too knackered to watch movies. Tell me about it. My biggest passion when I do actually get to watch movies is actually sitting down and watching them and doing nothing else. And I've now got into the habit of putting my phone down. I know it happens occasionally, because Jason's always picking me up on it. Why is he scrolling? Why is he posting on here when he's watching such and such? You know the answer to that one. It's been a month since I've seen a movie. What's the longest you have gone without watching a film? See you in 2 weeks, mate. You certainly will, Stu. The longest I've gone without watching a film, all the way through, longest. I bet you're talking 6 months. Easy. This would have been in my younger days when I discovered pubs and clubs. Movie going was the last thing on my mind, which is where these massive holes in my viewing occur, mostly in sort of the mid-80s, early to mid-80s. You've all been there. You know, I was mostly out from 6 o'clock until like 4 in the morning, then to work, and then coming in and doing the same thing again. And I could go for months and not watch anything at all. But recently, I've not done too bad this week. It's just not been as productive as I'd hoped it'd be. I think I've got through 2, which I'll probably talk about shortly, actually. I've got 2 of them by the side of me here. So, yeah, I would probably say recently a month, maybe. I do get to a point where I think, do you know what? I literally can't be arsed with anything. I'm just going to put a film on. And that's how it goes. But yeah, I'd say a month recently. But if you're going back years, I'd say 6 months easily. So thanks for that, Stu. Roy. Oh, no, you didn't comment. Sorry. You were reminding me on the last one. Oh, mate, you have to get to playtime in your tatty set. Absolutely sublime, which I'm definitely going to do. What's the movie we'd be most surprised you have not seen? This is what I keep carrying over. Leave it with me. I may even do a separate video just addressing all of these questions that I've trailed behind on. So leave that with me. Ollie. Morning, Ol. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're well. I am now. It's cooled down a bit, mate. I watched Control at the start of the week, and I have Sam to thank for that recommendation, as I thought it was incredible. Have you seen it? I haven't. I know it's the story of Ian Curtis from, is it New Order or Joy Division or both? Now I've heard it's very good, and I know for a fact that if I were to watch it, I'd enjoy it, and I might even put it on for Rob one night, because he loves his sort of 80s music biopics, so that might be one to watch together one night. So I might drag a copy of that off Amazon, and or maybe even stream I believe it's streaming. So no, I haven't seen it, but I get the feeling that I would enjoy it. He died quite early in life, didn't he, if I remember right? Um, Seen a few other hidden gems this weekend, including The Comedian, which has a stacked cast including Robert De Niro, Danny DeVito, Harvey Keitel, Eddie Falco, Charles Grodin, and many others. And it was a great, heartwarming, and funny comedy about a has-been comedian. I need to take a look at this. A Robert De Niro film I've never heard of. I can't believe. At first, I thought you were talking about the King of Comedy, and I thought he's got the title wrong. And then I realised, no, he hasn't. Not with all those other people in. Because didn't he do one with Jerry Lewis called The King of Comedy? I'm sure he did. So I'll check that one out, mate. I'll add that to the ever-growing watch list. I also watched Waitress, which was excellent. Just a very nice film, and the behind the scenes of that film is wild. Oh, you piqued me interest with that one. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one as well. Do you have any underrated 2000s gems you would recommend? I'm going to come back on that one as well. Sorry. It has been so unproductive. All I have done this week is just copy and paste these comments onto a document, and I've not addressed any of the questions. So I will transfer them onto the next one. So I will come back to that. Again, all these questions and answers will give me a brilliant head start on next week. So please don't think I'm fobbing you all off, because I'm not. I'm just being honest. So just grabbed the Dirty Harry 4K, which I think I'm going to give a watch over the weekend. Can't wait to see what the transfer is like. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend and week ahead, and same time in a fortnight. Most definitely, mate. Dirty Harry on 4K. I've got the Dirty Harry series on Blu-ray. Again, I'm not sure it's worth the upgrade to Blu-ray. I don't know. I shall see how I go. Can you hear the chair creaking? Get some oil on that. Yeah, I love all the Dirty Harry films. Absolutely adore them. Seen them all countless times. I could probably quote the script of one of them. But whether they're worth an upgrade to 4K is another matter. I will give that some thought. Now, I did have featured book written here, because I always do a featured book, and I might as well do this one that I only bought last week, because I've not actually sorted a featured book out. I was watching something the other day and I thought, do you know what, I know very little about this man, I would like to know more, and I found out that he'd actually done an autobiography, so I thought I'll give it a go. Chris Tarrant, Not a Proper Job. Now, I was a huge Tiswas fan in the 70s. Sod swap shop, boring. Tiswas was where it was at. This is called Stories from 50 Years in TV. Everybody that has reviewed this book on Amazon has said it's a hell of a biography, so this could be one to take to court with me. Maybe I won't swear on the Bible, maybe I'll swear on this instead. We shall see. But I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. So that's my featured book for this week. Chris Tarrant, It's Not a Proper Job. Now, thanks for that, Ollie, by the way, much appreciated, mate. And I will be catching up on your videos when I'm back at work, probably, because as daft as it sounds, I'm a lot more, as I've said before, a lot more organised when I'm actually at work than I am when I'm off. I just become, as I've said before, lazy, unmotivated, bored with everything. When I'm back at work, I'll have my routine back, and without routine, I'm rubbish. Total rubbish. So I will be catching up on your videos, mate, I promise you. Simon Robson, morning, Si. Hi, Tony, I hope you're doing well. Not too bad now, it's a little cooler, mate. Also, I've had a couple of weeks, a great couple of weeks with cinema visits. I went to a special screening of The Royal Tenenbaums for my birthday. It was a treat from Sammy G. He also bought me a Blu-ray of The Thing from Another World from 1951, which was a first-time watch for me. Loved it. I have been recommended The Royal Tenenbaums by a colleague of mine at work. Sam desperately wants me to take a look at it. It is streaming on Disney Plus, so I don't really have any excuse. I will try to watch it over the weekend. The Thing from Another World, stone cold 50s sci-fi classic. Obviously, it was the inspiration for the Kurt Russell movie, the John Carpenter film, The Thing in '82, which was a worthy remake. But the original, just absolutely brilliant. And now you've mentioned it, I would love to take another look at it. I believe that's on iPlayer at the moment, so I may just dig that out. That could be a nice late one, well, late night movie for tonight, because I don't think we're going to be in the mood for very much by the time we get back from Derby, seeing the league. I get the feeling that's going to be 11:30, 12 o'clock, so we're not going to want anything too demanding. So the Thing from Another World from 1951 would fit the bill perfectly. I've also been to watch 28 Years Later, which is my second favourite film of the year so far, behind Sinners. Sinners was brilliant. I was well impressed with that. Callum, one of our members, he absolutely loved it. He's the one that called it a masterpiece. Not sure whether I call it a masterpiece, but it was a bloody good film, and the soundtrack was amazing. 28 Years Later, I've heard mixed reviews. I need to watch the whole 28 trilogy so far, the first two, and they're both streaming, so I don't have to buy them. So I'm going to take a look at both of those before 28 Years Later begins streaming. But I've heard mixed reviews. Some say it's absolutely brilliant, some say it's total pants. So I shall let you know when I've actually watched it. But I think everybody is agreeing on one thing, is that the original, the first one, is by far the best. Isn't it always the way? We shall see. And I had an amazing time watching F1 at the IMAX. It's really good, especially on the huge IMAX. I've never seen IMAX, never been. I don't know whether we've got one here, but I think the nearest is Nottingham. I'm certainly not travelling all the way over there for that. But I've heard the IMAX experience is just superb. And Kermode loved the film as well. He loved it. And he basically said, see it on the biggest, loudest screen that you can find, which is my big screen TV at the moment. So, but I do want to see it. I love motorsport movies. My dad used to take us to the Grand Prix in the 70s, and I've still got, I'm looking at it now, a sticker, John Player, British Grand Prix, Silverstone, Saturday the 16th of July 1977. This was the era of James Hunt and Niki Lauda that they based the movie Rush on. All I remember mostly of the Grand Prix is the smell of the oil, the petrol, which I absolutely loved, adored it. The noise, you cannot comprehend how loud these things are until you are actually there and standing right by the track. And the other thing, the most unpleasant memory I've got, is the toilets, which were absolutely disgusting. You smell them before you see them. They were terrible. But my Grand Prix experience on the whole was brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to take a look at F1 as soon as it comes out. Big Brad Pitt fan as well. He's just as cool as hell. Reminds me a little bit of Steve McQueen, actually. So in reference to Crocodile Dundee, the cuts may be the racial language used when he's talking to the Aboriginal guy, or even the black limo driver who he asks, what tribe are you from? I'd forgotten about that. But I agree, it's all a bunch of crap. It's a film of its time. You can't erase history. I've lost count of the amount of times I've gone over this. I will be waiting for the I can't remember who Steve Mack said was releasing it. I can't remember. There's an uncut version coming out later this year anyway. So I'm going to wait for that. I'm certainly not going to bother with the something or other cut, whatever it is. It's just. And as for cutting bits out of movies, is it me or is it being relaxed a little bit now? We watched Carry On Loving. We were about sort of half an hour into it, just bumped into it while channel hopping. He's like, oh, what's this? And straight off he said, well, it's going to be cut, isn't it? I said, well, I don't know. It'd kill an hour, wouldn't it? And we got to the end of it, and I said, what was cut out of that? And he went, I don't think anything. So maybe, hopefully now, they're starting to see this woke bollocks for what it is, a complete waste of time. So, fingers crossed. Whether the others are the same, I don't know. We even watched a bit of Carry On Camping the other day on ITV3 or 4, and that appeared to be pretty much uncut. There was one tiny bit, but I do remember the last time I watched it, probably 6 months ago, it was like, bloody hell, there's whole chunks of dialogue cut out of this. So we didn't bother with it, but this seemed to be, hopefully now then, this is the tide turning, and we can basically say to all these Gen fucking Z knobheads, we don't care what you think, this is how it was, and we're going to enjoy the movies the way that they were intended to be seen, so you lot on your fucking bikes. with a bit of love. Are there any releases that you're looking forward to? Not specifically. I wouldn't mind a look at the new James Gunn Superman. I've not seen a Superman movie since the Christopher Reeve ones. I've not seen Man of Steel. Not seen any of them. So I wouldn't mind looking what this guy's done with it, because apparently he's got a habit of turning franchises around. So I will take a look at that one. But nothing that I can think of apart from Weapons, which looks amazing and scary as hell. Random question: what's your thoughts on the Godzilla films, old and new? You asked me this about 3 weeks ago. I'm finally going to give you an answer to this. I love them, absolutely love them. I adored the original, the 1954, the Matthew Broderick one in '98. That was good. The only thing I wasn't keen on is was it about 2010? I think it was just called Godzilla. Wasn't overly keen, and I'm not a massive fan of the Kong versus Godzilla films either. I remember watching one of the first ones and just feeling distinctly underwhelmed by it. So maybe I do need to catch up with them all. I don't know, but on the whole, I think the Godzilla films are really, really good. Visually, they're stunning. But as we all know, visual effects don't automatically make a brilliant movie. So, but yeah, I think they're okay. So thanks for all that, Simon. Look forward to hearing from you next time. Right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm up to 31 minutes. It's going to click off in a minute. Back in a sec. And we're back. Right, we are nicely on course for bringing this in under an hour, which I'm really, really pleased about, and I'm sure you will be as well. Right, Sam didn't comment this week. He's actually on a social media break at the moment for a month, so I hope everything's okay, Sam. And I know you're keeping on with your YouTubing and this, that, and the other. So again, I will be catching up with your videos at some point soon. You've left me a couple of questions from the last few weeks, which I am going to be coming back on. Is there a movie you have had the best viewing of through a 4K transfer? And is there a remake out there you originally refused to watch but ended up being actually kind of surprised? That's going to take some thought, but I will come back to all these questions, I promise you. So hope everything's okay, Sam, and look forward to seeing you back on Facebook in about a month or so. Mark, hiya Mark, morning captain. So, first of all, forgive me if I quote incorrectly as I'm typing this a day after I watched the video, and I've been pissed since as well. Never a good thing. Actually, it probably is. But you say that Jurassic World Park have gotten a little bit boring now and the novelty has worn off. But this is my exact feeling towards the James Bond movies. Uh-oh. Now, I've only seen one James Bond movie prior to GoldenEye, but I don't understand how you can make 27 movies all with the same plot line. What? All the James Bond movies are exactly the same. What? As I've said before, it's basically Bond uses a few fancy gadgets, drives a fancy car with said fancy gadgets included, sleeps with the main female lead, blows a few things up, kills the bad guy and saves the day. Every film is the same. That's why I'm not a huge Bond fan. You could not have simplified it any better if you'd have tried. I will admit they are the same, but I think that's what we like about them. Especially the earlier ones. They're a bit like a comfort blanket. You know what you're getting. Yes, we know Bond is a little bit sort of very un-PC, but we're not bothered about that. A product of the time, like we've always said. Yeah, I can't deny that. I can't deny that they are very, very similar. But I really don't care because I love every single one of them, apart from Quantum of Solace, which I've only seen once. Didn't really enjoy much, but I do need to take another look at that one. Have you not seen the Daniel Craig ones? I get the feeling you quite enjoy those. They're a lot more. They're a lot edgier, I think. My favourite Bond is Sean Connery, and I think Daniel Craig harks back a little to him. But there's a gorgeous 4K box set which has just been released of the first the six Sean Connery movies, which my birthday is coming up, and I will be mentioning that one. Either that, or I will lose patience and I will just think, oh, sod it, I'll order it. Let's see. Whilst on the subject of Bond, I went to see Greg Davis do stand-up this week, and he was on the subject of porn, as you do. And he referenced James Bond, saying that in one of the films, He tries it on with the lady, to which she says, "Oh, you're not having your way with me, Mr. Bond." Yeah, we've heard that line before. Then cut to the next scene, and she's on the table being massaged whilst Bond is wearing a mink glove. So basically what he learnt as a young boy was, if a woman turns down your sexual advances, just whip out your mink glove. I'm sure it's not, I'm sure it's not that simple. Why have I got the feeling it was the other way round? I need to watch that again. I know which movie you're on about. It's Thunderball. Well familiar with that one. No, I think you're probably right, actually. ASMR. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's basically relaxation techniques. Yes, Chris is right. You do have a soothing voice. Oh, thank you. CBeebies have celebrities on to read bedtime stories for the kids. The ladies wet themselves when Tom Hardy does it, so I reckon you should sign up for that. Do I really want ladies wetting themselves at the sound of my voice? I don't think so. Be very flattering, but hardly very hygienic. So I'll pass on that one if that's okay. Ben Button is a great film. Not usually up my street, but thoroughly enjoyed it. This is one that I need to watch. I think I have seen it before, but a long time ago. And I'm fairly sure I didn't appreciate it for what it was. So now I've got the Blu-ray, I will take another look. Great video. See you in 2 weeks, Captain. You certainly will. You'll never seen it, or one of them. Now, I believe there's another one which I will copy and paste onto the next video. This particular week, it was Deliverance. This falls right on the boundary of what the fuck is this shit, and yeah, it was okay. It's a stone cold classic, Mark, it really is. I'm not keen on Burt Reynolds. That's a bit of a handicap to start with, isn't it? To be honest, so I don't think that helped. But I'm going to go with, yeah, it was all right. 6 out of 10. Only 6? Absolutely love Deliverance. It's one of those movies that you watch and you think, how on earth did they get away with that in 1971? But they did. And it works. I love Burt Reynolds. I think his movies are brilliant. Smoking the Bandit, superb. Hooper, an underrated classic. God, there were loads. Cannonball Run, that was another one. Really enjoyed that. You'd enjoy that one, surely. It's all cars. Thanks, Mark. Much appreciated, mate. Jason K.R. Ginger Ninja, you're on holiday at the moment, mate. Hope you're enjoying your holes. Me, You and a Brew. That's great. What an awesome title. It just sounds great. Maybe I'll change the name. I'm looking at rebranding again. I'll keep mucking about with it. What it's got at the moment, I think it's Tony's Saturday Retro Zone or something. It's too long-winded. Any ideas? Please drop them in the comments of what I could call the blog or the video from now on. Something nice and short and punchy. I do like that. Me, You and a Brew. So anybody's got any other suggestions, let me know. Train to Busan, freaking adore it. Such a good film, though I do feel they stretched the ending out a little. Won't spoil it. I will be taking a look at that one. Oh, my favourite expression. They'll put that on my tombstone, I'm fairly sure of it. But I will take a look at it. Now, Mark, you like zombie movies, don't you? Have you seen Train to Busan? Is it good? Well, is it as good as everybody says it is? If all goes well, I should be seeing 28 Years Later from tomorrow and F1 next week. Cracking double bill of movies there. Not commenting on videos. Well, I have something coming up that I'm sure you will enjoy and comment on. Can't wait. Can't wait. Just a quick comment today, but I'm sure I will have more for you soon enough. I am off on holiday when the next vid drops, but I will definitely make sure I catch up when I get back. Doesn't matter, mate. It really doesn't. Like I've always said, my videos are like buses. If you miss one, there's another one coming along very, very shortly. So don't worry about catching up. There's no need, honestly. Take care. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Always good to hear from you, Jay. Let's see. Nothing from Guy this week. Nothing from Callie. Jason. Loving the thread, by the way. Every day you've got everybody involved in it, and it's absolutely amazing. 1971, what a year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort out every movie that I've got, if I can find them, from 1971, and maybe do my top 10 movies from 1971, most of which you will already know. But there are people like Simon and maybe Ollie who would maybe love to see my 1971 collection. Yeah, leave that with me. I'll come back to that. And you put, finally, I'm going to try and make notes as I go along. Can't you take the Dollars movie back to HMV and say it was bought in error? You'll get your cash back or a gift card. You get 14 days to return it. Although you recorded this video around the 15th, so I think your 14 days may be up now. Yeah, I think I think that ship's sailed. CEX will give you a £13 voucher for it. What I'm going to do, and I haven't done this for years, I'm going to list it on eBay for probably $19.99 or something. And if it doesn't go, I'll take it into CEX and just cut my losses. I'll only be losing a tenner, so. And if I get a voucher, I can purchase more. Stop encouraging me. You'll see it's bad enough as it is in a minute. I'm going to carry on watching the vid. If I need to add any comments, I'll edit this post. So come back to it later to see if you've added anything. Sorry. So come back to it later to see if I've added anything, which you hadn't. But as I say, it really doesn't matter. The heat last week, nobody was in the mood for this. I certainly wasn't. I'm doing it. This is if you're watching this on Saturday the 4th, is it the 4th today? Let me check my watch. Oh, this bloody thing. When you're ready. Fucking thing. No. But, well, if you're watching this on the Saturday, I'm actually recording this yesterday. So this is about as up to date as it gets. Let's see. You're never seen. Oh, hang on. No, I'm sure you already own Gravity on Blu-ray. Just seeing you hold it up took me back a couple of years. Time to get your films in order, mate. I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm fairly sure I haven't got Gravity, but you've got a memory like an elephant. So if you say I've got it, there's a very good chance I have. But it only cost me a couple of quid. So if I do find out that I've got it, it won't be any hardship to put it in the charity box and give it to the RSPCA. They'll make a couple of quid out of it, or 50p or something. So you've never seen it, or the last one that I've got on here. I think there's another one to go on since, but as I say, I'll update all this for the next one. Roller Coaster from 1977. I love that movie. Synopsis: a nameless young terrorist threatens to sabotage roller coasters at various American amusement parks if he isn't paid a huge ransom. Safety Inspector Harry Calder is reluctantly drawn into a game of cat and mouse with many lives at risk. I believe it's George Segal plays him. Verdict: I always remember this being on twice a year on the terrestrial channels in the 80s, but it was always on too late for me. So when this movie popped up in a discussion on this group, I thought I need to watch this. I expected it to be cheesy, shit acting, bad effects and crap. Well, it was none of those. It was fucking brilliant. I thought for its time the effects were great and the suspense. So much so I paid £10. I nearly said dollars then for some reason. So much so I paid £10 to buy the Blu-ray before the credits stopped rolling. It also has an unedited version, an uncut version on there. Only a few seconds where, spoiler alert, when the carriage comes off the rails and crashes to the ground, it actually shows the bodies hitting the floor. Oh dear. Where the UK never showed this. Germany didn't give a fuck. Have they ever? I've never seen the scene in question, so can't comment. Back to a year in movies tomorrow. I won't give it away, but it's 35 years ago. Yeah, okay. Always look forward to it, Jay. Honestly, every day I look forward to seeing what's coming up. So, yes, roller coaster. Something to show you in a minute, which I'm fairly sure you will have seen already. Two movies that I've watched this week. There have been a couple more, but I can't for the life of me remember what they are. I will download the covers and maybe do a letterboxd review and put those on. But one that we watched last week, we decided to go back to basics because we watched a movie called Werewolves Within, which was billed as a horror comedy, and unfortunately for me it was neither. I had to watch Rob being unbelievably bored for 90 minutes, and I did say at one point about 40 minutes in, shall we just knock this on the head? Which is something I never say, because I wasn't finding it that funny. I couldn't understand a lot of what was being said. It wasn't working. But he said, no, we've invested 40 minutes, might as well see how it finishes. So this week we went for this one. You can't go wrong with classic British horror, and I've seen this countless times. He's never seen it, he loved it. From Beyond the Grave. This is the one where Peter Cushing runs an antique shop And every purchase comes with a nasty surprise. So just absolutely brilliant. One of those portmanteau movies of the 60s and 70s that just worked. Every single one was brilliant. Vault of Horror, Tales from the Crypt, Dr. Terror's House of Horror. Oh, there were loads, absolutely loads. And I would love to get a full collection of them on Blu-ray, and I am working on it. What's that other one? There were quite a few of them. But that was one that we did enjoy. And this one, I was going to do a standalone review of this, and I will do one for Rick, because I promised him I'd do it. His latest movie, Serial. This did take me back to the portmanteau movies of the 60s and 70s, because what you have got with this is 3 individual short stories all wrapped around a central theme. Now, I love these kinds of movies because if you get bored with one story, you know there's another one coming along in a few minutes. And this, I really, really enjoyed this. It's low budget filmmaking at its absolute best. Everybody in the movie looks like they're having a total ball. It was just really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed this one more than the last one, which was called One Night Rental, which was good, but I think I preferred this one. There was also a trailer at the beginning of it for a movie called Derbyshire Vampire, which I asked him about because I thought from the trailer it looked all right, and he said don't bother with it, it's absolutely shocking. It was some sort of a deal that they made with the people who did Derbyshire Vampire that they would put the trailer at the beginning of this, but I think he wishes they hadn't done it. But so I won't be bothering with that one. But certainly looking forward to your next movie, Rick, whatever that's going to be. But yeah, this is definitely gets a 9 out of 10 from me. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So that's everything that I've watched. Well, everything that I can remember. What are we on? 15 minutes? Oh, not too bad. There was one that I watched yesterday. It's streaming on 4 for about another couple of days, I think. Definitely recommend it. It's a Spanish movie called Piggy. And it is about a girl who lives in a very, very small town in Spain. She's very, very overweight. She's relentlessly bullied. Her parents are horrible. She takes a trip down to the local swimming pool one day and is bullied badly by 3 girls. Walking home from the pool, she witnesses one of her bullies being bundled into the back of a van by what you just know is a complete maniac, and she's basically begging to be helped, and she stands there and watches it happen, and it goes from there. It's one of these conflict of interest type films, whereas you look at it and you think, do you try to help her? Do you report it? Or has this woman been such a cow to you, you're just going to leave her to it? And that's where it goes. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's only 85 minutes, I think, but really, really good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, but I really, really enjoyed it. It's on Channel 4 or Film 4. It's called Piggy. Definitely well worth 90 minutes of your time. Right, a few purchases here, and we are through. I'll do the magazines first, as I always do. If I've already shown these, please forgive me. Head's been mashed this week. So I've got the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine, which seems to be saying that Billy Piper is the new Doctor. Now, I haven't followed any really sort of modern Who since Matt Smith, which I found this season to be very, very confusing. Most of the stories made absolutely no sense. And I keep meaning to go back to the beginning and start from Christopher Eccleston and work my way through them and maybe pay a little more attention to them. Maybe that was the problem. But Billy Piper was obviously Christopher Eccleston's assistant, Rose, I think her name was. But this is basically saying that she's going to be the new Doctor, so we shall see what happens with that. The latest issue of my favourite magazine, Intermission. This is Talking Pictures TV's official magazine, which I do subscribe to. I love reading this on coffee break. It's just easy reading, pure nostalgia. You've got an article on Amanda Barry, who was obviously Carry On Cleo and Coronation Street, Agatha Christie, Jacques Tati. Oh, look forward to reading that. Remember Ali Pali, how the BBC pioneered high-definition television in the 1930s. Interesting. And how British cinema embraced film noir. That's the back of it. It's a cracking magazine. It really is. I love that. Latest issue of Yours Retro, which came the other day. Articles on the sound of music. Julie Andrews, The Gold Rush, Burt Reynolds, Mark. Fantastic Voyage, Real Dangers on the set of the sci-fi classic. I loved Fantastic Voyage. This is the one where they injected a small submarine full of people into the human body to destroy a blood clot in the brain, from 1966. Thunderbirds, the inside story of 5 fab episodes. That is going to be a great read. Latest issue of Yours Retro. Latest issue of Empire. I think I showed this off, I don't know. Latest issue of Saga magazine, and with Michael Palin on the front. I'll never find love again. Well, that'll be a bit of true. What drew me to it was Brain Training, the best apps to exercise your grey matter. God knows they could do with exercising. So, and this was an impulse buy. I saw it there, and I thought, I think this was one day when I went round Morrison's, and I couldn't find anything to read. So I ended up getting this, Paranormal Britain. Now, I love stuff like this. I will always watch things like Help My House is Haunted, anything ghosty, monstery, on sort of 9-10 o'clock at night on sort of Really and stuff like that, channels like that. I will always watch them. So as soon as I saw this, I thought that would be a decent read, but I've not started it yet. And a book, Callie, this is for you. You will love this. I basically ordered, as you know, from last week, the latest issue of The Dark Side and Infinity. And The Dark Side had an advert in the middle, advertising basically a series of books written by the people who run The Dark Side magazine. And I saw this one and thought, wow, I wouldn't mind that. Callie, look at this. Diary of the Dead. The movies of George A. Romero, by Christopher Coating, research associate Christine Kruger. Callie, this is an amazing book. I'll just show you a couple of. It is very nice quality. I'll try and do a quick flip through, but you know how this goes. But this is basically the story of every movie in the Dead series, which I can't wait to get into because I've only ever seen the first 2. That's a nice illustration there. But what a gorgeous book. And it doesn't only feature the Dead movies. There's also movies like Martin, other George A. Romero movies. I get the feeling The Crazies will be in there somewhere. But that is a beautiful book, Callie, well recommended. And there's another one coming out in September that I can't wait to get, and I can't wait to show it off. I won't spoil the surprise, but that one is definitely recommended. Right, DVDs and Blu-rays. I promised I was going to ease off, and I'm going to go for something called No Buy July. Now, you know as well as I do, that is not going to happen, but I can try to limit it, like I've said before. Oh, light's gone out. Like I've said before, to maybe 2 a week, which is more than enough. Or maybe I've just got to start this streaming thing. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm now seeing movies sort of advertised, and you guys are talking about them. And the first thing I'll think is it streaming? I'll have a look if it's streaming first. And I've sort of earmarked quite a few movies that are streaming. The only ones that I seem to be buying at the moment are the ones that either are not streaming or that I can buy from Amazon, but they cost just as much to get them as sort of physical media. So you know my feelings on physical media, but I know that I need to cut down, and I know I need to organise them, Jason. I do know. Trust me, it will get done. First 2, I watched a documentary, a 2-hour plus, 2 hours and 25 minutes on Steven Spielberg, which was fascinating, absolutely brilliant. And the more I went through the movies, I thought there's 2 there, maybe 3. One that is streaming, which is called Munich, which I've never seen but looked brilliant, and 2 that, as far as I know, are not streaming. I couldn't find them, or they were streaming, but you've got to pay for them. So I got these 2. think it was about £2 something each. First one is Bridge of Spies. Now I love Tom Hanks, absolutely adore Tom Hanks, and I love Spielberg. And to me, if he's got together with Spielberg after Saving Private Ryan, it's got to be worth a watch. So I'm going to be taking a look at that one as soon as I can. My other little promise to you is that what I should really be doing is watching the movies that I get through virtually as soon as I get them, so that I can talk about them and not stick them on a shelf so that they sit there for years on end. By the time I talk to them, you've all forgotten about them, or forgotten about the fact that I was going to talk about them. So Bridge of Spies, that's one. And the other one, Lincoln, starring Daniel Day-Lewis. Never seen this, but I do love a good historical biography. And Daniel Day-Lewis seems very good at doing throwbacks to the past. So definitely looking forward to taking a look at that one. Next one I spotted on Film 4, and it disappeared before I had a chance to watch it. I've seen this a few times before, and I thought, you know what? It is a classic, and I will grab a copy of it because I will want to watch it again and again. Dead of Night. This was one of the original portmanteau horror films. It's an old Ealing movie from 1940. Is it 43 or 42? Can't remember. Does it say on here? No, it doesn't. 45. If you've not seen this, it's absolutely brilliant. It's creepy. This is the one, or partly the one that inspired the Anthony Hopkins movie Magic, the one about the ventriloquist dummy and the guy with schizophrenia. Squits. But yeah, really, really good. I know for a fact that I'm going to watch this many, many times, so I thought that was worth $9.99. Next one. The latest one in the Dollars trilogy for a few dollars more. It's still in the cellophane, as you see. I want all of these on 4K. I've got the good, the bad, and the ugly already pre-ordered. That's coming out in August, I believe. So that's another one that I'm looking forward to seeing. Everybody has told me that the transfer to 4K is just absolutely stunning. That's all I need to hear. So yeah, that's one that I'm looking forward to taking a look at. I only watched the Dollars trilogy for the first time maybe 18 months ago. So I do remember most of it, but I'm going to watch them in 4K because I can. So let's see what else I've got here. Just bear with me. This is what I heard you guys talking about. And again, couldn't find it streaming. I probably could have downloaded it, but again, I spotted this on Amazon for pence, literally. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. Columbiana. I know nothing about it. I've not read the back. All I know is that you guys were raving about it. And I think it might have been part of JC's Year in Movies. I think it could have been part of that. But the way you guys were talking about it, I thought this is obviously a film that I need to see. It's not really my style of film because it's all action. But you guys were very passionate about it, so I thought I'm going to give that a go. And for pence, it was worth it. What else have we got here? If I've shown any of these off before, I do apologise. Train to Busan. Again, a zombie movie that I've heard amazing things about. I've actually recommended this to a couple of people at work, even though I've not seen it. They were all wobbling about 28 years later. And I said, the one that you want to watch out, apparently, is Train to Busan. But I've not seen it yet, so I don't know. Leave it with me. Here are two, again, recommended by Jay, actually. I haven't seen this for years. This was your never seen for this week, Roller Coaster. And I'm hoping this is the edition that you've got, but that's the back of it. This is the one that contains the German uncut print, which shows a certain scene, which probably lasts 5 or 6 seconds, if that. But you know what? If it's uncut, I'll have it for $9.99. Had to have it. So, and the other one, this was on the same page. You know what I'm like? If I spot a film on the same page as one that I'm ordering, and I think, oh, I'll have that as well. Oh, there's another one. I have no focus at all, no focus. But this was, and I do remember loving this the first time I saw it. I've seen it maybe once since. Charlton Heston. I was on a disaster movie spree. I had to have Earthquake on Blu-ray. You've got, let's see, Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, George Kennedy, Lorne Green, Genevieve Bujold, Richard Roundtree, who played Shaft in the movies. And I think, oh no, it's not Richard Widmark. But this is one of the few 70s disaster movies that I haven't got. And I have been dying to see it for ages. And again, I spotted it. And I know this is becoming a bit of a rarity. The same with Roller Coaster. I think it's now out of print, or it's going out of print. So it's going to be one of those that's going to be difficult to get, or you're going to pay a stupid price for it, which I definitely didn't want to do. So I thought I'd have a go at that. Two, I spotted these on Facebook yesterday, and I thought, do you know what? I daren't risk putting another boring film on a Saturday, and I know Rob will love this because I've seen it, and I thought it was absolutely hysterical. Robin Williams and Nathan Lane in The Birdcage. You all know the plot of it. You all know the style of humour. I thought this was brilliant. I don't know whether he's seen it or not, but I know for a fact he will absolutely love this. And that's the back of it. But that's The Birdcage. And the other one was one in your year in movies, Jay, and I'd forgotten about this. I thought I'd got pretty much all of the sort of Killer Bee movies, but I've not got this one. And I remember this terrifying me as a kid, The Deadly Bees. Just one particular scene where they find the body of the old woman in the courtyard of the house, literally covered in stings, and it haunted me for years. And I've not seen it since, and I would love to know whether it will still have the same effect now. I don't think it will, because you're going back sort of 70 years with this. But I'm looking forward to having another look at it. There's the back of that one. But The Deadly Bees, can't wait for that one. And finally, you know of my love for old kids shows, and I spotted a clip of this on YouTube and thought I would love to watch those again. They're only 5 minutes long. But this is another real rarity. The Herbs and Parsley. Remember them? This is difficult to get. Most of them are fetching £80-90 on eBay. I got this for 22, and I thought, do you know what, grab it now, because that's probably going to be a rare thing to see that one at that price. So I'll let you know what I think of that. And then just take me back to a simpler time, you know what I mean, a better time. So all done. Just over an hour fractionally. So thanks ever so much for joining me, guys. God willing, I will be back in 2 weeks. That thing about monthly was a bit of a wobble. Don't worry about it. There's a very good chance I will not be doing that. It all depends how this jury thing bollocks goes. But as I say, thanks ever so much for joining me. Drop all your comments in the comments below, and they'll all get read out on the next video, and I'll have all those other bits and pieces that I promised you on the next one. So have a brilliant couple of weeks, folks. Enjoy the sun if you can. I'll do my best. As I say, thanks for joining me, and I will see you all in about 2 weeks. Take care, everybody. Ta-da.